Hey, Ralph here. I'm going to talk a little bit about getting recommendations. So welcome to Building Your Brand with LinkedIn, Part 5, Recommendations. Now, for me, I think that recommendations hold value. There's a couple different reasons for that. Obviously, if someone else has found taken the time to write a recommendation for you, they must think pretty highly of you, and they must think pretty highly of your work, and they must enjoy working with you, which is obviously something that other people would like to see. I think that's an important part of it. The other piece of recommendations, the reason that I like recommendations is it really sort of, it does show a level of activity on LinkedIn above and beyond just simply going out and, creating a profile. So just some recommendations here around recommendations, if you will. Not sure that came out perfect, but all right. So the first thing I would recommend about recommendations is that you write one first, okay? Before you start going out and requesting recommendations from other people, it's a good idea for you to actually have some recommendations that, or at least a recommendation that you've written as part of your particular profile. It shouldn't be too hard in terms of who to write a recommendation for. Just think of someone that you've dealt with in your professional life that has either inspired you, or you enjoyed working with them in some way, or you gained some value from your relationship with them, their level of professionalism, whatever it may be. But just think about all the different people that you interact with in your professional life, and then try to find a few that you have enjoyed the experience, learned from the experience, whatever it may be, and sit down and write the recommendation. It can be a little intimidating writing recommendations if you don't do a lot of writing. Feel free to shoot me an email with a recommendation that you've written if you want me to look it over a little bit and see if we need to touch it up at all. But after you've written a recommendation or two, then you can go out and start making requests for recommendations. And with these recommendations, whether we're talking about you writing them or we're talking about you receiving them, I put on the slide there 360 degrees. So you should be thinking about recommending and thinking about getting recommendations from your peers. Okay? For me, that would be other instructors that I work with, from your reports, from your direct manager, from your executive team, from people in other departments. In my case, I interact a lot pre-sales standpoint and solution development standpoint with our sales department. I interact to some degree with our marketing department. So those are people that I would both think about requesting recommendations from and then also writing recommendations for. So start off by writing a recommendation or two, and then go out there and make some requests. I mean, I have to admit that this is an area where certainly I can improve. And as I shoot this video, I'm starting to think about some of the recommendations that I've been thinking about writing that I need to just sit down and write, and then also some people that I'd like to request recommendations from. So I hope that helps, and we'll see you for the next lesson.